It is that time again. It is the modding series coming in. We are voted on by you for this guy. Yeah, that guy. You know it is. Let's do it. Welcome back, guys.
Sorry, my Vader voice still in there. What's going on? How is everybody? Well, back to Fort Mort. It is Darth Vader time. This is a complicated but yet simple character that is so misunderstood. He got a recent nerf. Pardon me. He got a recent nerf. And we're not really going into that too much. We turn the music down a little bit. But I do want to go into him. He may be a little bit on the long side, but there's some good information. I'm going to give you some good visuals here to kind of help you out on how to understand Vader. So let's start out with the kid himself. Let me put this up. His first ability, deal physical damage to target enemy with an 80% chance to inflict ability block. Same as Poggle, really. But still need potency to make sure we land it. Increase to 100% if the target is Jedi or Rebel. This attack cannot be evaded or resisted by Jedi or Rebel enemies. So he's basically going to go right through Foresight on that one. Potency is going to help it stick. Force Crush. Deal physical damage to all enemies. Inflict speed down. 3 damage over time effects. Potentially, it could be 0. Or it could be 3, so depending on potency, RNG, and etc. Overtime effects for 2 turns. This attack cannot be countered. All right, let's go on to the next one. We got Culling Blade. We know the one that got nerfed, but it still does pretty good damage. Deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all debuffs on them. So this is actually using Mara Jade now, the newest character at 3-star. Really helps out too, because she throws a ton of debuffs, which means it's going to stack up his damage. This attack deals 50% more damage for each effect dispelled. Increased to 100% against raid bosses and grants 100% turn meter if the target is defeated. Keep that in mind. Turn meter train is rolling if you can kill somebody. So if you can go into Force Crush, Merciless, boom. We'll get into Merciless in a minute. This attack has plus 25% critical chance and can't be evaded. Merciless Massacre. This is the one I love. Under Palpatine lead, you can Force Crush first. Otherwise, you got to go into Merciless, then Force Crush. This is why I love Palpatine lead. I almost never separate these guys, but when you get to the upper levels, a little bit more, you got to separate them. But gain Merciless and take a bonus turn after this one. All enemies gain Merciless target, the little blue thing against top of their head, which can't be evaded or resisted. When Vader uses an ability, Merciless target is removed from the target enemy, and Darth Vader takes a bonus turn. It keeps on taking turns as long as you keep hitting the people with Merciless target. If it bounces back and goes to a taunter, and you hit that taunter without it, all of them go away. Keep that in mind. I'm sure you guys know that by now. Darth Vader can ignore taunt effects when targeting Merciless targets. Merciless gives plus 50% offense. Does not stack with offense up. This is key. This is one of the ways they keep him from putting out too much damage. Here's the one I really love. Plus 50% critical chance and plus 50% critical damage. These kind of work around how you want to mod this guy. So the majority of the time where he's going to do the majority of damage, he's going to be crowd control with his ability block. He's going to be turn meter control, which we'll get into. And then his crit chance and his crit damage are boosted by 50%. So maybe you don't have to put crit chance and crit damage necessarily on him. Of course, crit damage stacks as high as you can get it. Crit chance, once you get to 100%, you're good, right? Or over 100%. Hang on one sec. Sorry, I think my allergies are kicking in. I had to pause it. All right. So the other thing it does is he's immune to fear, stun, and turn meter manipulation, and Darth Vader's bonus turns do not trigger other characters' effects based on bonus turns or turn meter gain. Darth Vader under Merciless must target a unit with this or taunt effect, can ignore taunt to target this unit, and takes a bonus turn until after using an ability while targeting this unit. Inspiring through fear, Empire and Sith allies have plus 30% offense. This is huge for me. I love stacking offense on Vader because he's getting plus 30% of everything he's got. If you've got low offense, that 30% isn't going to stack as high. And have a 50% chance to remove 20% turn meter when they damage an enemy. This turn meter removal can't be resisted. While Vader is alive, enemies immediately regain damage over time for 2 turns whenever damage over time expires. So this is under his leadership, and this is a huge one, like going against Grievous. Grievous cleanses all dots. But going against Grievous with Vader in the lead, it's not an easy battle. Oh, they're on my green screen. It's not an easy battle, but those dots will come back on Grievous. So that's his leadership Zeta. Sorry, I forgot to say the Zetas. The bottom 3 here are the Zetas: Merciless Massacre, Inspiring Through Fear, and then No Escape. After I'm done with these 3, I'll tell you what I recommend. At the start of each encounter, Darth Vader gains 8 speed until the end of the encounter. This is where the visual is going to come in. I think a lot of you guys are going to be surprised by what I'm about to show you. So if you're going to watch anything, watch this visual. He gains 8 speed until the end of the encounter for each of the following: Empire, Sith, Jedi, and Rebel enemies. Darth Vader is immune to turn meter reduction and recovers 5% health protection whenever a damage over time effect on an enemy expires. So the more potency, the more dots, the more healing for health and protection for this guy. Whenever Darth Vader activates Merciless Massacre, dispels stealth from all enemies. So let me pop this visual up here. You guys may be surprised by this. Sith, Empire, Jedi, and Rebels add 8 speed to each to Vader. Palp and Vader are both Sith and Empire. So Vader automatically, whatever his speed is, add 16 for Vader. Then add 16 more for Palpatine. Then they're the only 2 Sith and Empire both tags. So anybody else you put from Sith or Empire are going to give another 8. So that's 32 plus 3 more people is 24. That's 56 just for your Empire Sith team. So add that on to whatever Vader's running right now. My Vader currently running a solid 274, which may even be on the quick side. That's going to make my Vader 330. Not even going against Jedi or Rebels. Or I'm going to say Jedi and or Rebels. So your Jedi are going to add 8 speed for each Jedi. So you multiply that by 5 if there's 5 Jedi. That's 40 more speed. That's going to put us to 96. If Kanan, Ezra, Old Ben, or Kyle Katarn are on the team, they are both Jedi and Rebel. So that's potentially another 32 speed, which will bring you what you see as max speed on the bottom there to 128 from his kit. If my math is right, it's 128. So keep that in mind. Vader Palpatine right off the top, you had 32 speed. For my Vader in a duo, would be running 306. All right? You can pause that if you need to see it. We'll move on. Let's see. Let's go back here. All right, the Zetas. So Merciless Massacre, obviously. Vader is one of the first characters you should have at Relic, even post-nerf. He is one of the first, and you should have the Merciless, and you should have the No Escape. The biggest reason, Merciless, I think, speaks for herself, but this Zeta is amazing as well, and the reason I really like this one is to remove the stealth. Like, I use it a lot on the Geonosians, and that takes Spy out of the equation. Maybe you're going against, I don't know, a Bando team or something on that line, where they've got stealth on there. And then I'm iffy about the leader, and I say this, I recommend the leadership. But if you are poor on Zetas, I'd wait on it until you can afford it, but the lead is good as well. But it is situational. So I do recommend it again, but we'll stick by that. All right, let's see what my stats look like on my Vader. Health and protection, decent pool. I wish I had more health on him, but my protection stack. He's fast. He's got decent critical damage. Potency's at 105%. Love the potency on this guy. And then damage 1520. Special damage 1559. Where's the crit chance at 62.62. So when he goes into Merciless, he's actually at 112%, which is amazing. And then I got to note out too that Palpatine lead adds some stuff to him as well. Palp lead will add 35% potency, which is going to give him a ton. I may actually be over potency, but if I want to solo with him, he does really good work. And then they also add 35% health too. So on my Vader, I love everything that's modded on him, but I would like more health on him. That's my only recommendation for myself. Empire allies also gain 20% turn meter under Palpatine, plus 20% health when landing debuffs. So that's where the potency comes in. And honestly, for me, you can't have too much potency, because if you got a high tenacity character you're going against, the potency is going to help negate that. And then when debuffs expire on enemies, Sith and Empire characters, allies gain 5% turn meter as well. Let's see here. Let's go with look at the mods real quick. I've got a lot of offense on my character. I went with speed mods and potency, and you'll see. I'll actually show you the visual, big visual here. You'll see here I've recommended 4 different mod types. So this is Vader's pretty. There's a lot of ways to do him, but the one thing I do recommend all the time is a crit damage triangle here on the left-hand side. So if you look at the primary stat, I recommend health first, protection second. If you have to, speed arrow all the time, crit damage majority of the time. If you can't afford the crit damage, offense could do some work too. Cross, I recommend potency almost all the time. Offense is a good one too, but the potency, Vader is all potency to me. Second to crit damage and offense. Secondary stats, you want to try to stack as much offense percentage as you can, because like I've talked about before, if you've got a flat offense, It doesn't stack nearly as well as Relic as percentage does. It stacks heavy. Then you want speed on him to get him between, you see at the bottom there, 240 to 270 speed, somewhere in that range. Any extra potency helps, any extra health. Crit chance helps, especially before he goes into Merciless. And then protection is just an added bonus if you can get it, but health is more important. The most used mods in the game right now, according to SWGOH, is crit damage and crit chance. There's also crit damage potency, offense potency, and then speed and potency, which you see that I've got on mine. Honestly, you could put speed and crit chance on there as well, but I'm a big fan of the potency on this character. Those are mine. Relic Priority, 10. Big old 10. He should be one of your first ones. He is a solo character. He is a great character. He used to be a GL killer. Still kind of is. He can in certain situations. Not nearly as much as he used to be. Excuse me. But Zeta Priority, like I said, to the first and the third one are great. His leadership is situational, so that's up to you. But you need that potency for landing ability blocks, landing debuffs, and for healing Vader. Don't mod for solos. I've heard this before. I've had people ask, how do I mod him for solos? Don't mod him for solos. Mod him correctly. He will solo. Plain and simple. I don't solo with Vader. I always bring in a teammate just because of the ability blocks. There's not enough tenacity to stop that, certain characters, etc. But I see people do it. They want a chance that that's up to them. But I'd make sure that I get the especially in GAC, make sure I get the win over anything else. So if you guys got any questions on that, Vader is a clutch character. Like I said a minute ago, the Vader speed visuals in the middle of the video. Here, this is for you guys to stop it if you want to see it as well. The next one we will do will be Emperor Palpatine. Good. So we will move our way down the Empire this week. And like I said, we're going to be moving it to the modding series during the week, Monday through Thursday. Definitely on Wednesday, Thursday. Situational for me on Monday and Tuesday because of my work schedule. In the meantime, you guys are awesome. Till next time, you got any comments? Drop them below. I am not perfect. I am one human being, but you cannot go wrong with this modding, guys. You cannot go wrong with this modding. Get that crit damage on that big boy. He used to be crit chance. After the nerf, he moved to crit damage. So I bet a lot of you still have a crit chance mod on him. And it ain't going to hurt him, but I still recommend the crit damage. Till next time, we are 1 battalion strong. And don't forget, Morty needs some help. Right there, we're at 888. As of this video, I'm looking for 1,000. 1 battalion strong.
Shut up and sit down.